Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is Things I've Learned with Liquid.GH Earthshaker in 719. Before TI, this hero was completely forgotten, and yet it started shining brighter and brighter after the tournament. In a meta where lanes were supposed to be the end-all be-all, how can Shaker be effective? No one better than GH to show us. Way back, what a Shaker will do as soon as the runes were picked up was blocking the offlane for the core and then go to the safe lane. That's not the case anymore. Shaker will be dual laning, and while blocking the offlane is okay, Drow is a terrible weak lane hero, while they have a Wraith King, a super strong one. GH just runs at people, and even more important than that, look how he holds onto his fissure for a long time. I'll talk more about it, but I also want to point out how the Wraith King approaches this chase. He could just run into the silencer and stun, right? Yet he eats this tree to block the silencer. Since he can't move straight away, this is effectively a stun. He was slightly late in blocking the choke point, but as the Drow comes to help, this is when the fissure will be used to its full potential. Fissure is either a 1-second stun or 8 seconds of block. This fissure not only forces a TP, but hurts Drow pretty bad. You think the first fissure was good, right? Just keep watching. The power of fissure blocks against some heroes is insane. Drow offers pretty much no threat to GH, so even if she can attack, it doesn't matter. As the Wraith King approaches for the stun, note how GH knows that the priority here is not attacking the silencer, but posturing for the blocking the small passage, and there you have it, first blood. The biggest trick on how to play Shaker is knowing how to utilize this area here. Not only this is a great place to use Clarities and Chill while he waits for his next move, since he has no Stealth Shield, playing the lane is not a great idea. He's against 2 ranged heroes after all. He boops the Drow twice but avoids committing the fissure because of the Arcane Curse. And he just goes in and goes out to try and get as many even trades as possible. He keeps going for the boops and hiding. They don't have a lot of burst damage, so GH just keeps trying to trade slowly to see if he can put Drow in a position where she'll die if they commit. Eventually, Drow oversteps its boundaries and he gets another fissure block. As they chase, note how GH is not focusing necessarily in hitting her. He sees her here, yet he goes up. Wraith King is already going from bottom to the top, so he just wants to make sure the Drow doesn't juke them out. He sees her again and runs top, just to be sure they don't lose vision, or just one of them can attack, because if they're coming from the same spot, they'll probably get stuck somewhere. After all, they're both melee. They were pretty close in getting another kill, but GH's fissure ends up separating the silencer, but regardless, great starting the lane, and he can just run to the base. One thing to mention as he does that is that in the Dire safe lane, it's not uncommon to see support suiciding in the top tier 2, and that's great, but the distance from where he is to the Radiant tier 2 in the bottom lane is way too big. Also, he has boots and windlays, so going down to neutrals will probably yield the same results as actually walking back to the base. He starts healing in 25 seconds, but if you're way below 380 move speed, suiciding might be a better idea. You can see that GH rarely stays in lane. He commits the Earthing Totem just to make sure the range creep doesn't get denied, but he doesn't offer much there, so he just leaves. He quickly notices the pull, separates the silencer, and drags the remaining creeps, but not towards the lane, the rune. Cancel showcases his soccer skills, and I just want to give you some random Dota knowledge now. During TI8, I met Wiha's brother, and he told me that him and Cancel are actually pretty close friends. He told me that he destroyed Cancel playing FIFA and that he's garbage, so there you have it. That being said, Cancel does steal the rune from G-God with this kick. And after that meme roll, Cancel actually secures the TA kill for Invoker, but keep watching. He baits Cancel super hard. Invoker is out of skills, and GH has a mango, but he doesn't randomly pops it. He waits for the Earth Spirit to beam tower attack range, uses the stick first, so not only Cancel loses 70% of his HP, since Invoker kept chasing, they get a very important core kill here after that. As he disengages, his career with a ward and Tranquils is nearby. Note how he utilizes that rotation plus nighttime to get a ward down. The ward quickly spots Cancel top, making sure the PL doesn't die, but more importantly, note how GH plays here. He doesn't offer anything there without another hero. By noticing that Earth Spirit left and the Brewmaster is there, he can go up the ramp, and he baits another fight beautifully. Brew comes to Cancel's rescue, and GH only uses the fissure now, meaning he can get a 2-man stun. While Cancel once again can just roll away thanks to the crispy body blocks, this is another kill. One thing a lot of low MMR players do is always TPing after they respawn. And that's a mistake most of the time, especially as a support, because you want to be ready to actually react to aggression in their lanes. But another harder to spot mistake is TPing to a lane when a fight is happening, but your hero can't easily help. And in this case, Earthshaker actually has a lot of reach, but look where the fight is happening. So he doesn't have certainty that he can actually do anything there. Also, look where TA is. She's accelerating in the jungle, and we know what every Shaker wants, and it's disgusting. The earliest Blink Dagger possible. So yeah, maybe he could TP top with a level 1 Fissure to try and kill Brew, or he could get lots of juicy creeps in the mid lane. Note though that he walked either way, so that if a dive happens somewhere, he's gonna be there. The way GH fights with Shaker is beautiful. Runes are about to spawn, so he uses the fact that he's in this area anyways. He has a TA that can farm the Ancient, so the Ancient stack actually means something, and then he runs towards the enemy bounty rune. After all, Draw and Silencer are not strong heroes, especially in this game when they are ahead. He gets a glimpse of the draw, blocks the passage, grabs the rune, but keep watching. The Wraith King gets the stun because the gust does not hit him, and GH doesn't run towards the Silencer, he runs forward but in an angle where the Drow loses attack range on him. Just a minor detail, right? But GH still postures for the Ancient Totem. Silencer dies, and since he evaded 1, maybe 2 attacks from the Drow, not only he baits her in, he survives the last attack with the stick, and that buys enough time for the Fissure and the eventual kill on the enemy carry. As he shrines from that fight, he gets another Ancient stack for TA, so this guy is just a bro, you know, he gets a super early Blink Dagger, but he was not AFK farming, he was just doing a lot of shit. One thing a lot of players do, and we're talking about item timers here, is just tunnel vision on them. It doesn't matter if you're playing carry or support. And I'm not saying GH never farmed this game, he has 18 CS, which is respectable, but this close to the Blink Dagger, I can see a lot of people just tempted in farming the jungle, yet he smokes with Phoenix. It's not like they are randomly smoking though. Brewmaster is farming with very low HP, top, while Global Silence is down, so they definitely have kill potential there. Just watch how GH gets this kill and what went through his head. He has a 1.25 second stun on his level 2 Fissure, yet if he goes for a max range Fissure, how the hell do they kill a Brewmaster with Primal Split? Since it's nighttime and since it seems that the Brewmaster is not reacting to them closing the gap, he actually Fissures as Brewmasters get vision since it's nighttime. Because of this play, he can actually walk and get the Ancient Totem before the split, and they get a kill. One thing a lot of Shaker players like to do, but often backfires, is trying to go for a kill without Echo. Both Ancient Totem and Fissure, though, have a 0.7 cast point, which is pretty easy to telegraph, and in this case, Invoker has Cold Snap and Tornado Learn, 2 skills that have 0 cast point. So you have to Echo, right? There is one way. The secret is using turn rate to your advantage. Note how he blinks behind the Invoker and also while he was last hitting, which means he won't be fast enough to move and dodge. The only reason Invoker survives here is because of the Global, and that's even more next level actually. By forcing the Global with Ancient Totem here, he has a free solo kill around the map. If he just used Echo, he knew that there was Global, right? So the Invoker would survive. He's a very fast hero. Because of that, and because Drow is still showing bottom, he just moves towards the Drow, and note how he actually approaches the kill. He Fissures before using the Ancient Totem attack, knowing that Cancel wanted to do something there, so he gets a 2-man stun, and yeah, GH dies, but with TA rotating, this quickly becomes a great engagement for the Dire. Well, that's it guys, I'm making videos every day this week, and possibly the next one, so you know, it's hard to actually make very lengthy videos. As of always, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I just want to let everyone know that I'll be casting Na'Vi vs Secret tomorrow on Twitch as well as YouTube. I know people were quite against my casting, but a handful of people actually came to me and told me they were impressed with how better it is now. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot to improve, but since this game is so hype, I do invite you guys to enjoy some good Dota while hanging out with me. This is my Twitch channel, make sure to follow and subscribe if you can. My Twitter is where I voice my opinions about Dota, music, and life, and you can find me on Instagram here as well. There's also a Discord channel in case you're into that, and yeah, I guess, bye.